Okay, I'm comedian Haley Boyle. This is now technically a 4 video day, even though it's like 2 a.m. I'm so freaking tired. But I'm making this video now because I am still awake and because I want to show that other video was like, what, a little over 2 hours ago? And this is where I'm at now. And this is what I mean by distress tolerance, right? You have to remind yourself when shit is really shitty that it's not going to be forever. It's not going to be forever. Use a mantra. I sometimes do. I'm a good mom. I'm a good mom. Sorry, I have a weird pinky. Doesn't have to be like that, but it's whatever. They can all do that. It's besides the point. I used to squish my fingertips for comfort for years. I always have. And then I learned that this is actually a really good anxiety management technique. And then if you assign words to it and give yourself a little mantra, it can be really helpful. Also, I cried it out, and that helps. It helps to address it. It helps to, understand what it is you're dealing with, or it does for me anyway, because that's how my brain works. But that's actually the focus of this video, not only to illustrate that from, a little over 2 hours ago to now, I'm in a completely different place. Weathered the storm, made it, here we go. But also, because I have an idea. Now, what I'm dealing with is not unique. It's not. I mean, it's mine, so it's unique for me, and it has its own little tweaks and whatever and quirks. But falling in love with a narcissist is not unique. In fact, you probably hear it all the time now. In fact, you might hear it so often that you've heard people say, well, if everyone that you've ever been with is a narcissist, maybe you're the problem. And that's a really, really shitty thing to say, but except for the tone, it's not inaccurate. It's extremely common for someone to be with more than one narcissist if they have not corrected the problem after the first narcissist. Because that's how this works. So in a way, you're the problem, but your problem is the problem, and you are not your problem. And it's fixable, and you're not the bad guy in this situation, although I hate to assign value, because even a narcissist has their value and their gifts as a human. They're beautiful and unique and blah, 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 blah. But they tend to be very toxic up close for pretty much anybody else. So watch them from the audience. But if it's your narcissist, there's rules for this, or a rule. Actually, there's only really one rule for how you handle these situations. So, now that we've examined the evidence and, identified the situation and, follow the one rule for how to get past a toxic relationship wound with a narcissist, and that is no contact. The one and only rule is no contact. You don't answer, you don't engage, you don't reach out. You can't. So, I decided to do that like maybe a week ago, and I've stuck to it, which has been very fucking difficult because I want feedback. I always want feedback, negative, positive, whatever. I want it. I want input. I want feedback. It's, another thing I'm working on. But also because of the way my brain works and what I refer to as my smack of autism, my memory disorder, my overactive memory, I have what I call clicks. Things that I can do where I can assign an item or an action or whatever and literally tell myself this will be the thing and we'll do that and then it'll be okay. And as long as I don't get bargained down on my clicks, they work. Like when I do them for myself, they work. When I try to do it with other people, they always want to negotiate, and that's not how clicks work. And they often don't account for the fact that being an overthinker and an empath, all that stuff, I have already bargained myself down before I presented my case to them. And that's just how I roll. Anyway, point is, these little assignments, these clicks that I have, they release the anxiety. They kind of let me out of the cage of emotion or what have you. And I've actually been thinking about this click for a while, and I think especially having talked about it earlier and kind of released the iPod, and I've released the cash, and I've released whatever he's pawned that I didn't find the receipts for, and all that stuff. But the one item that I noticed was missing, years ago when I was in the hospital and he was fucking bringing people into the house and all sorts of shit and using my car to cheat on me. That I have not, it's just not something I can just let go of, because here's the thing, like with the iPod, yeah, it hurts, it's personal. I fucking lost something irreplaceable, but I can understand his motivation, you know. The item that drives me fucking crazy is I had these instead of Disney princess Kinder Egg things, and I had them all on my little shelf, and I had this fairy godmother figurine that sat in the middle because she wasn't part of the set and she was bigger, but I was like, that's fine because she's not a princess, whatever. Because again, that's how my brain works. These things have to be a certain way. And Belle went missing, and I don't know if one of the women he had over took it, or if he gave it to someone, or gave them permission to take it, or I don't know what the circumstances are, and I never will, because he literally never fucking tells me the truth at all. Like, less than 15% truth in anything he says. And that's something I feel like I can use as a click. And I'm seriously considering, because I finally fucking got my paycheck, which is only $90 for the month this month. I got 3 fucking jobs last month. It's pathetic. And I'm seriously considering dropping $16 on eBay right now to replace her, because I feel very strongly that this click, like replacing that item, will be the thing that now, you know, it'll be my, oh shit, what's the word? Not medallion. I want to say amulet, and that's not a word. Oh shit. Why am I more forgetful when I don't have weed? Anyway, amulet. There we go. That reminds me, you know, that I'm making myself whole again, and not to go back to where that piece is missing. You know what I mean? It's very difficult to explain to people how my brain works, but believe me, this click will be a big deal for me. I think it'll be really helpful. So I think $16 is worth it. Anyway, also using some classic coping skills for a comedian and trying to work on some material and stuff. And most of it, again, is stuff I won't say on YouTube, but I did write one that I would never say on stage. It's more like a tweet. And probably won't make you laugh, and I can feel it already, so it's already embarrassing, but fuck it. Oh, shit, I might be out of weed, but you should see how clean my grinder is. No, okay, anyway, I'm okay, guys. I'm alright, I'm alright, I'm alright. Okay? Hard part's over.